Okay, I believe we should get ourselves underway for Russian Federation versus Sweden right now. And with that being said, I will be leaving the booth and passing my torch to Surfshoot85.
Hello, hello. I'm pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, have a warm welcome for Sir to the commentary booth as well for this particular match and having for Russia versus Sweden, which is a fairly interesting one to watch. And I believe they have some few fair shares of closer matchups in like the previous week.
Yeah, this is a relatively close one. I think the only thing that we might want to take a look into is how Sweden could keep up with what is essentially a higher accuracy based team because at least from what I've seen, both of these teams do have pretty similar skill sets. For the most part, like again, accuracy, really consistency might be the only thing that will separate these two teams. Anyways, I think I saw Team Sweden protecting LN1.
Yeah, Sweden picking protecting I guess more of a akin to inverse and all the shenanigans is just harder, and then Russia protecting hybrid one. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, that is an interesting protect. And now Russia is getting LN4 out. LN4 not exactly a
Wait,
popular pick, I think.
is that LN4?
Yeah, it should be Fuda Huang.
Hang on. So Sweden banning core jacks or Rice 3.
Yeah, not that surprised.
Yeah.
Russia does have Team Ibuka, and also I think their possible second Rice player as well would be Carese, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They're threats in core jacks for the most part.
So they're picking for Sweden now picking I suppose for the hybrid 2, which is interesting, which I would consider this the non, well, I guess technical hybrid out of all three, I guess.
Okay, so we're just looking into correcting some of the display in the map sheet. Yes, the ban from Russia is LN4. Just to be sure. Anyways, this one is a pretty weird chart.
Yeah, it's just well, I guess seeing the name themselves, the mapper also makes a quirky technical stuff, and I guess the being the one that is hybrid is just all hell breaks loose in this kind of chart.
Yeah. Like this one is just you're practically tasked to do a really long holds while doing pretty technical rice patterns with the rest of your fingers. I think there's only a few moments in this chart where you're actually allowed to let go of the keyboard, like that split second, and suddenly you'll just have to continue holding and just holding.
Yeah, that's I mean, there's been like picked ones like the previous, I guess previous match. I believe it was like South Korea, which is the first match we've seen on that particular block, which is I believe it was yesterday. So.
Oh yeah, it was yesterday.
It-
Also, this was also picked during the match back in the afternoon, or like about 6-7 hours earlier. For those who follow UTC time, which, funnily enough, the winner of this match will be facing the winners of that previous match, which was New Zealand. Anyways, here we go with Isovote. Interestingly enough, Sweden with an early accuracy advantage, Team Ibuka dropping to just around 99.2 at the very start of this chart. Just to note that Meiju is keeping up very well with the race self before the misses. But the misses, we did see a trade of misses, so that's Sweden with a slight lead.
Yeah, just a fairly slightly. It's just straight from between Erasel and Timabuka there. Although maybe Timabuka has a lower accuracy in particular, so I guess the lead might trade it out. Well, I guess trade again actually.
Venya is finding a problem holding that spacebar note. Like releasing it 2 times in a row, but the accuracy really from Timabuka kind of tanking Russia's scores for the moment, but another drop from Venya's makes this flicker a little bit. What Timabuka does have though is the combo advantage now.
Oh,
and as I say that, never mind.
Alright, interestingly enough, now the lead's going back to Sweden. Even actually, I mean, we've seen Meiju drop a few times there.
Yeah, dropping them below 99%. That's a pretty sizable one, and you already see the lead skyrocket a few thousand points to the Swedish side of your screen. Another big drop from Meiju on that mini jack. Venya's trading that.
Nobody's holding the 99s here. It's just all after this. It's just tricky technical stuff, and now the lead's gonna reduce quite a bit here.
We saw a miss there coming from Array's self, and that's another one. That's a big reset for Sweden.
Oh no, this is actually going to swing over to Russia here. Just swing over to Russia on one particular pattern.
Yeah, that was a big swing right there. Array's self kind of messing up that pattern really for the most part, dropping them to what is essentially 3/4 of a percent in that accuracy. And that does mean that Russia will be picking up their first point, the first break point in this match. This could have been a different story.
Yeah, would that drop happen just a few last 2 seconds or 3 seconds? This would have been completely different. But that drop was very significant for Eraser there. Might have just dropped all those misses at the last 5 seconds or so.
That was relatively nerve-wracking. This is usually a pick where you'd see one team dominate for the most part, but if the hybrid pick is a prelude to what we'll see throughout this entire match, we might be up for a good one. Anyways, Russia going for Rice 1.
Yeah, speed pick. Well, I guess in a sense this could also be one of their Russia's strengths, because I believe that Russia's picks have been pretty particularly unconventional, because you normally see consistency, core stream, or just core jack is just being played very early on, but Russia's picks have been fairly on the odd unconventional side, because speed like this is not exactly straightforward. It's just very rarely seen to be picked as a consistency check.
Anyways, shout out to the charter for this one, ET Blocko. As we start Rice 1.
Intro is just pretty much irrelevant.
Yeah, but this is that part of the chart where you just want to keep your accuracy as high as possible, because you just don't know what's gonna happen once a pattern really kicks in. But Timabuka with the early miss.
Just before the 400, so not that impactful as it might seem.
We could still see some big swings once everything really starts to kick in. Venya's finding a drop.
That's after 400, and there's another drop.
Oh, Timabuka does trade, but Venya's, that's a full 3/10 accuracy drop there from that miss, and look at that lead. It's already at around 16,000 points.
Yeah, Venya's dropping 4 times already, and Timabuka might drop twice, but it's still Eraser's trying so hard to keep that whole combo up there, but it's also rivaled in Correa's with higher accuracy.
Yeah, actually,
Oh,
the accurate. Well, it's not really going to affect the scoring that much, I would think. Race doing very well accuracy wise, and actually Team Ibuka up from both Swedish players by at least 3/10. So it's any of these misses not really gonna affect them that much, especially that chart is ending.
oh, Rizzo dropping right at the end out of that full combo, but it's only Correa's having that full combo on this end, which is very beneficial.
Only 2200 right there, 99% FC. Good job there from Carace.
What I'm noticing is that Sweden generally has much better, I guess, general accuracy because I mean, I guess the 300 count is usually lower than Russia, but not this time.
So now the ball is in Sweden's court. I presume they might look into picking.
Huh? Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Morning Gloom.
This is not the pick that I would have expected from them. Like maybe we could have seen Tsuzumi, secondary
I mean, I
opportunity
guess.
as well.
I mean,
Or
I
they're just
guess.
going for the weirdest stuff.
Well, I guess Sweden is not that much different again with Russia. They're just picking more of the unconventional stuff in the map pool.
Yeah. Like this pick is, for a lack of a better word, harsh on the hands.
It is definitely harsh. And well, I guess with this would classify as a technical would be kind of an understatement.
Anyways, here we
I mean,
go.
All right. I mean, luckily this has a, I guess, slightly lower OD, but that doesn't really compensate very much.
Yeah, like it's barely any consolation really because the patterning here is really hard.
Yeah, we'll see. Since Sweden's pick would be I guess more on the more lines of accuracy. This would be in their up in their alley.
Benyas with an early drop, and it's already drop them below 99%, and they're just hovering around there. But look at the Team Ibuka's accuracy as well. It's slightly below Venyas' accuracy.
Yeah.
I think it's the combo advantage helping Russia right now. But Venyas actually recovering very well.
Yeah, very recovery. Just now the highest accuracy after that one drop, but now this more of the slam and grace notes here is really not looking very well for Sweden here. Both of them drop at one of those transitions.
That was a full team reset there from Sweden. Team Ibuka, Reza finding yet another trade.
Oh, Team Ibuka. Oh, Reza went down to below 98 now.
Yeah, that drop was, I think, sizable. It would be an understatement, really. Venyas as well.
Oh
Drop.
boy.
Yeah. On the other hand, like we still have one more full combo left in this room, and Race of Venyas have been trading misses within the same team. But again, this is a particularly difficult chart to maintain your combo on, so any semblance of combo really is quite an achievement. The spacebar jacks
no one's dropping. Yeah. No one's dropping on those jacks before.
Oh, getting faced by those spacebar jacks. No more full combos left though with the miss from Carace. Would have been nice though, but regardless of what really happens here, the lead is quite sizable, only a few seconds left in the chart, and this should mean that Russia will be getting their third point.
I mean, I guess this was well, I mean, Carace with that just near FC, just maybe dropping at the fair last few seconds, but impressive. I mean, impressive showing nonetheless. Just almost FC on that charge, which is very, very hard.
Right, so I presume Russia should still stick with the Rice here, and there they go. Going for the faster of the 2 chords team picks here, Rice 6.
Alright, faster core stream.
And this might also be a slight prelude as well on what we'll see from Rice 2. Considering, like, yeah, sure, the skill sets are a bit different. Like,
Yeah, but it's just the mileage may vary depending on which type are you very comfortable on. If you're comfortable with this slower chord stream, then you might have more density. But if you have a faster chord stream, then I guess you just have to keep up with the speed most likely.
Anyways, I think we're just waiting for everything to go and make sure these players hit their keyboards is fine. It seems like everyone is just looking into their settings. Anyways, just some implication really from these matches in the losers bracket for this weekend. The winners of these matches are not yet assured of a slot in the semifinals weekend because they will still have to play one more match tomorrow. And for this matchup in particular, they will be facing New Zealand, who won their match earlier. And that was also a fun one.
Yeah, I believe like New Zealand ended up in the scoreline. I believe it was like 6-1 as well, which is a fairly fought fight for New Zealand in particular.
And regardless of whoever wins this, like, that is going to be a pretty spicy one. But for now, let's put our focus into these two teams. Array Self finding an immediate drop, and that and for a skill set that's high scoring, like chord streams, dropping to below 99% early on isn't a good sign.
Yeah, looking. Oh, actually, Teobuka dropping just before the entry of that core stream early. But I guess the lead doesn't really caught off too much here. Oh, Mania is now dropping now.
Yeah, you only have one more full combo left in Carace. Carrying a mid 99% accuracy. Actually, pretty much similar to what we see from Team Ibuka right here. While both Swedish players having to recover their accuracies for the most part, and at this point they would really need a massive breakdown here from both Russian players, and it's really hard to force a mess up if you're locked in, and the chart is pretty much consistent throughout.
Yeah, doesn't look like it's going to have a very good time for racing there. Teobuka does find the drop, the second drop I would say, but then it's just that one FC after the other.
Yeah, like, and I think even if Carace finds a drop or two here, like, it's not going to be enough because the accuracy advantage that they built up throughout this entire chart is pretty big. Like, they're almost 0.5% ahead of the best accuracy we see from Sweden, as Carace getting another full combo.
Impressive showing there, and I would say Teobuka too. Like even with 3 misses, they still had like only 5 200s across the entire chart.
So it seems like going into the next pick with Sweden picking, they are going to be picking LN1 considering the entry of Krati.
Yeah, this is the one that I'm most excited about. I'm very eager to see how Krati and I guess Arisa would play on LN Inverse. Well, I guess the trade-off will also be playing for the Russian side.
Okay, Meiju coming in, which I think is expected. Meiju is one of Russia's best LM players, if not the best, in my opinion. And inverses are pretty much either you can or you cannot.
But this one, I think you can kind of sort of play it a little bit better. I guess it depends because like the last week's pool has been generally more into like I guess more chords than not just like straight up streams.
Yeah.
But this one features a little bit of stream in here, so like I can actually read it as you would play like an almost pseudo chord stream almost.
Yeah, but there are some patterns here that are designed to trip you up, like that inverted stare. Um, Basically charted like a delay in a way. Not exactly an inverted delay, but the stare is charted to a sound that you would put a stare when you do a delay chart. But anyways, first miss coming from Erase off, the rest still maintaining their full combos. And actually, the three players maintaining what is essentially 98. Team Ibuka going up to 99%. And this is already a pretty sizable lead for this skill set.
This is looking a little bit concerning since I mean I guess with Terebuka this time around shine instead of the other Russian players like we've seen on the previous charts before. Oh, actually, well, Terebuka might be dropping on that one too.
Yeah, it was a pretty big one as well, dropping to below 99%, just around Meiju's accuracy. So Russia still has their consistency going for them at the very least. Creaty with the only sizable combo. I'm not sure if it's a full combo. Okay, all teams. I mean, everyone getting through the stair,
everyone,
but...
except for Craddy.
Yeah. And those are pretty big dumps at Team Ibuka. But still within... But the lead is still manageable. Creaty finally drops their full combo. Unfortunate, but... Like, regardless, this would still be a really impressive score coming from them.
Yeah, this is still impressive showing regardless. Even with like few misses drop every now and again, it's just the lead is just pretty much staying the same for Russian side here. That's going to take the match point 5-0 against Sweden.
Team Ibuka ending up getting the MVP just by virtue of getting lesser 200s than Creaty here.
Yeah, lesser 200s, but having three extra misses on the side. Well, although it's just it just depends on whether the misses happen there. They're gonna go
now
with more core stream.
Yeah, it's a pretty good good pick coming off their previous coming off Rise 6 really. Again, they mentioned that this is in a way Rise 6 is in a way a prelude to what we might see here on Rise 2. And Sweden really needs to step it up because they have to win 6 consecutive points to stay in the tournament.
Yeah, it's either you can read density correct, or you just read the speed correct. Because slower core stream, that should not be anybody's worry for the DPM. It's just the density of it.
Anyways, we have Sweden has 2 minutes 24 seconds of what is essentially 178 BPM chord streaming to negotiate. They have to score high and get their accuracy.
For Sweden they have to. Yeah, for Sweden they have to get 5 straight points to be able to get to a tiebreaker, which sounds like Russia is really hoping.
So this may determine New Zealand's opponents. We might determine New Zealand's opponents tomorrow after this chart, or one team can extend their campaign by at least one more map.
Yeah, it all depends on the Sweden side if they can hang on through it, the entire this entire chart and the next 4 charts if they happen to be winning this one.
Imebuka, the only person here who didn't turn off autoplay. Okay, so now everyone turned it off.
Exactly. Well, yeah, for a brief moment.
Yeah, for those not that aware, Score V2 does not score 100% accuracy on gold 300s. So, and the only time it actually happens is if you're in a 1 million score run on Score V2. So we usually joke like, yeah, not turning off autoplay. But anyways, everyone here still maintaining full combos. Array dropping to below 99%. Which has been the trend really for them throughout this entire matchup. Meanwhile, Cornelius and Timibuka pretty consistent with their mid 99.6.
Eraso like hitting very late there. Might have constituted a lot of 300s there. Might have actually drop a few 200s on that one too.
Yeah, like their hit distribution has been a bit all over the place. At least, like they can combo like that, which is already a good thing going for them. They just need to lock in on that pretty tight timing window.
More 200s on that Eraso there, just dropping almost everywhere now.
Oh,
now dropping with a miss there.
That was a pretty sizable drop on Sweden's best accuracy as well. And that is just going to stretch the Russian Federation's lead here.
Yeah, it's looking very, very good for Russia there. It's just up until this point, it's just very solid. It's just it's just holding potential for combos, really.
Like, and funnily enough, this might actually be the first double FC of this match. If this goes as it is.
Yeah, but just even then, Eraso was still holding full combo as well, so we might potentially see 3 full combos in this chart.
There's a few more chords to negotiate. And
there is. Oh boy, 3 full combos in this chart, but unfortunately that is not enough for Sweden to take the lead. It's a 61,000 point lead for Russia, and Russia's taking that final point. A clean sweep, 6-0 against Sweden there.
Yeah, that is Russia advancing to tomorrow, facing New Zealand for an outright spot in the semifinals weekend. Meanwhile, Sweden will have to say farewell, though I think this might be one of Sweden's better runs on MWC 7K history. So props to them for getting this far.
Yeah, I believe like Sweden's placement has been the highest since 2019, which is where it still has the group stage shenanigans in like 2019, which is just around the same placement at the very least.
Yeah, this has been a pretty good run for Sweden for the most part. But here, Russia, they will be playing for the marbles tomorrow against New Zealand. Number 11 versus number 14 in our seedings. That is going to be a pretty fun one to watch. Like both teams with pretty similar skill sets.
It has pretty similar skill sets, maybe. I mean, except for the fact that Russia's picks have been fairly on the unconventional side, while New Zealand has been kind of having that kind of advantage of more straightforward picks. It can be just switcheroo depending on the day.
But anyways, for our next match, it will be happening from 25 minutes from now. We have Peru, the number 8 seed, facing Taiwan. And that is going to be a pretty fun one. Because... yeah, like... And I think this is in the losers bracket as well. So one of our top 8s might be... One of our top 8 seeded teams is fighting for their lives in the tournament. Meanwhile, Taiwan will want to continue pushing forward with their momentum, really.
Yeah, I believe like the next three matches, I would say, not just Peru Taiwan on that 24 minutes on the dot. We also have like an hour. Well, I guess not exactly an hour, but Chile versus Estonia as well, fighting for the lower bracket as well. So essentially, those two matches that they do have one more life left on the tournament, since they really need to step up their game, since the winner of those will have to eventually might have to face against each other.
Yeah. Anyways, before we let you guys go, just a reminder that the OC Mania 7K World Cup 2025 team support banners are up on the OC store. If you want to support your country or your favorite player's country, you may do so by buying those banners. They will be put on your profile and you can stack them. You can buy multiples. Multiples of the same country is also possible. I mean, we've seen some people already make their profiles extremely long before you see anything relevant, anything else relevant. If I may correct myself right there. So
yeah,
go buy those banners.
Yeah, definitely support your favorite countries there, and also most like all the proceeds there will be goes on the prize pool as well. And if your favorite team banner happens to win for the 7K World Cup 2025, they get to be put up a little bit longer than you would normally usually do.
I think that is pretty much it for us for now. So this has been the OCMA 7K World Cup 2025 quarterfinals weekend. We'll be back in around 23 minutes from now for Peru versus Taiwan.
Stay tuned for the next matchup.